Welcome back to the Sovereign Ratio. Do you want to learn about one of the highest potential altcoins for the next bull run? Because today we're going to take a look at Polygon. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave me a comment below. Alright, let's start off with some tokenomics on Polygon on CoinMarketCap. First and foremost, I want to say this is the strongest tokenomics that I've seen out of any video that we've done in this series. Polygon is currently ranked number 11 in total market cap with $7,130,000,000. It has a circulating supply of 9,319,000,000 tokens that are 93% unlocked, a total and max supply of 10 billion MATIC tokens, and a fully diluted market cap of 7,647,000,000. So the current market cap is almost as much as the fully diluted market cap, and almost all of the tokens are unlocked, which is an extremely bullish set of tokenomics for this asset. You can currently get Polygon on Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, Bitstamp, Bitfinex, Uniswap, Bithumb, Gemini, Curve, Bittrex, and pretty much everywhere else that is any sort of exchange at all, you can get Polygon. Not in big quantities because there's not a whole lot left, it would appear. So what is Polygon? We could go all the way back to whenever it was first called the MATIC network and look at that. But really the project has changed so much over the course of time, I'm not really sure it's worthwhile to do that. So what I'm going to note is what's happening currently. Polygon is a proof of stake network that originally was a scaling solution for Ethereum, or what we would call layer 2. At this point though, Polygon is used by so many people because of its low transaction fees and capabilities in a carbon neutral or even carbon negative way, that a lot of companies have adopted it and it's become its own project essentially, even though it does still scale for Ethereum. It's partnered with companies like Reddit, Flipkart, Stripe, LGND Music, Starbucks, especially Disney even, for some virtual reality solutions that are not directly listed on this page. But it's partnered with many, many big companies, and that's always something to take into consideration when investing in an asset. It's kind of like when I was mentioning Chainlink in a previous video. Chainlink has so many different connections within different blockchains in the ecosystem that it would actually be damaging to the whole crypto space if something were to happen to Chainlink. Same with Polygon. Polygon has made so many connections with other chains and other big organizations that it would be damaging to the overall value of cryptocurrency in general at this point if something were to happen to it, in my opinion. Right here on the website, it says Polygon Proof of Stake is one of the most used protocols in the world. The network has tens of thousands of dApps, more than 3 million average daily transactions, $5 billion in secured assets, and access to some of the top brands building on it. It's the best scaling experience for developers and users. It allows projects to scale by processing more transactions, an average 0.015 cents per cost transaction powered by the proof of stake architecture, and approximately 10,000x lower cost per transaction than Ethereum. And as I mentioned earlier, it is attempting to be carbon negative, which is sustainability is a huge thing with crypto, especially with proof of work and Bitcoin being in the forefront of conversations in previous years. Haven't heard so much about that lately, but it has been a point of contention as far as its ability to be green, even though I should say like one season of Christmas lights throughout the world takes far more energy than Bitcoin ever could. I'm not going to go into details about this one, but it is very worthy to note that Polygon is also heavily invested in zero-knowledge rollups or ZK rollups, which is one of the most promising technologies for overall speed in reducing transaction costs in blockchain right now. I would expect in the next bull run to see a lot of news and a lot of interest in ZK rollups, specifically Stark. Also worthy to note is that you can use Polygon wallets on decentralized exchanges. So if you were to have something like, say, MetaMask, and you had the Polygon network enabled, you could add Polygon to that wallet in MetaMask, and then you could come over to somewhere like KyberSwap, where transaction fees are very, very low, and swap Polygon directly for other tokens. Instead of, the classic Ethereum to other token swap, you can actually do it with Polygon because the gas fee is like almost nothing compared to Ethereum. Looking at crypto Twitter, we can see that Polygon, based off of its follower count, lives up to its expectation as far as tokenomics and overall use case. 2 million followers on the project, which is enormous. If we scroll through, we can see there's a lot of daily updates from Polygon based off like new technologies, things they're working on, upgrades. I could go on and on and on and on, but the first thing I want to note is simply 2 days ago, they released some information on the 3 pillars of governance for Polygon 2.0, which is a long string of tweets going through the governance structure that they're looking at. There's actually a blog here with a link from that tweet that goes over the governance structure in more detail. You could find that here. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but they're pillar 1 of protocol governance, pillar 2 of smart contract governance, and pillar 3 of community treasury. It's the 3 pillars for their new structure, where ultimately the goal is a future by and for the community. So Polygon is trying to build a strong community, and it's trying to have governance inside that community. All right, let's look at some Polygon TA real quick. I'm on the daily chart, and I think that's the best place to be for this particular asset. Right off the bat, we can take a note that Polygon did reach a valuation of $2.90 back in December of 2021, which was an excellent run up from where I believe I saw it for the first time, around 30 cents. If we do a little retracement here, we can see that it came all the way down to 32 cents for an 89% retracement. Before then, coming back all the way up to $1.57 back in March of 2023. What happened was a large series of partnerships being formed with Polygon and other companies, and I think that really added a huge bullish narrative to the token, and a lot of people started to buy it up, and it got to the point where there was hardly any left to purchase at all. Since then, Polygon has retraced from that $1.57 all the way back down to 51 cents, currently sitting at a valuation of 76 cents. So first thing to note right off the top is there are a couple trend lines right here that are pretty obvious to me. There's this one, which would definitely be a longer term trend line. And then we have this one here that was previously support right here. Polygon's kind of trying to make a decision right now. To me, it looks like it's got quite a bit of resistance ahead of it in order to get back into a bullish mode, because it's got 2 resistance lines to deal with. Even though it is a strong token, I would imagine that it would take a great deal of volume and interest in order to get it past those. However, if there was a token that could do it, it would probably be Polygon, right? So let's get rid of these lines here. I'm looking at the indicators. It looks like the stochastic, at least on the daily chart, kind of wants to curl up. It's not really doing anything yet, but it looks like it's trying to change trend direction. Not really sure at this point. RSI is just sitting around mid-50s, kind of insignificant at this point. And the BBWP is also rather insignificant, at least on the daily chart. If I take away the indicators and scroll out, let's take a quick look here and see what we have as far as potential for the next bull run, because that is why we're making these videos, is to plan for the next bull run. Polygon is one token that I could see a massive move out of, especially as the supply dries up. You know, last cycle Polygon got to $3. I hate to say this, I could see Polygon hitting the 3618 around $10. That would be top of the tops for me, but I could see that happening. I could see a 3x from the previous all-time high. And where we are now at 70 some cents, that is to 10, let's just say $10. That's a 12x, which in a bull run, that's definitely not something that's out of the realm of possibility. I normally would go down here with you guys and look at these targets at the 1618 and the 2618, but honestly on this token, this is where I think it's going to go. This isn't financial advice, and it could stay down at $4. I have no idea. But from what I've seen and all the information I've gathered and all the talk about Polygon and people shilling it and people loving it, I'm betting on $10 in the next bull run. As far as downside is concerned, though, we have been looking at potentially a big fall off of a cliff for the ETH BTC pair. And if that were to happen, I'm looking at a 30 to 40% correction in altcoins. Just taking a look at Polygon from current valuation, a 30% correction would put us at 53 cents. A 40% correction would put us at 45 cents. And if Polygon did get down to 45 cents, which is basically right here at the cusp of its previous low, I would say that would be an excellent place to DCA. Again, not financial advice, but that would be a good idea, in my opinion. I also briefly pulled up the weekly chart here so we can kind of look at some basic indicators. RSI looks like it has mostly reset down to the bottom of the range. It did not completely reset, which is something that I normally like to see, but it got pretty close. But at the same time that happened, the stochastic did turn up, and the K is pretty aggressively crossing up the D, sitting at 25 right now. It's got a ways to go to the upside if it maintains this posture that it's in now. So there's some mixed signals, right? On the weekly chart, it looks like some positive news. On the daily chart, it looks like it's got some big resistance ahead of it. One final thing to note is I did run an FRVP all the way back down to July of 2021 to current. And the biggest area of liquidity is sitting at 91 cents. So right now I would also consider that resistance. And that kind of goes along with that long trend line that we drew earlier, right? We just put that back on again real quick. That sits around $1.05. Liquidity sits around 91 cents. So kind of that 90 to $1 area is really where there would be some rocky ground for Polygon, and it would really need to reclaim around $1, $1.05 to be bullish again. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Polygon, one of the most promising crypto projects, and for me, and definitely an automatic buy for the next bull run. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave me a comment below, help me get in that algorithm. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you in the next video. Safe trading.